Thanks a lot for coming in.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Something about this community appeals to you?
This is a wonderful place to live.
For Kelowna Now, this is Kent Mulgat. And we're joined by Cassidy deveer, the new president of the Central Okanagan Canadian Home Builders Association. So great to have you.
Thank you.
I want to start by talking to you about being a female in a position like this. We've seen two chambers of commerce in a row as women, more and more leadership roles in this community, but the building, the construction field, that's super male dominated. So tell us a little bit about your journey in that respect.
It is. I find it's exciting to be the first one, but what I find even more exciting is I know there's going to be a lot more women coming. I know other women builders, and so it's exciting. It's exciting to see the shift. Change. There's women working in so many different construction companies now. You run into them all the time. It can still be challenging. I've had someone come up to me and when I'm getting out of my truck and hand me a business card and say, "Oh, I see you're driving your husband's truck. Can you give him my business card?" And so that card promptly goes in the garbage. But yeah, there's just funny things like that all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Right, you were saying that, okay, so you've got the name Cassidy, which could be a guy, right? And a coworker, another female called Kelly.
Yeah.
So people are just assuming that, oh, Kelly must be the guy then.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll get mass emails that say gentleman, blah blah blah, and then we have to kind of say like, I am not a man, thank you.
So you're not a blip. You're saying that there are more and more women in that field?
Yeah. It's starting to become more of a thing, and it's exciting, and I think it's been a long time coming, and I know. For years, women were always involved, and it was generally, their husbands out in front, and they were kind of back and behind in kind of traditional roles of, bookkeeping and designing and that kind of stuff. And now I'm seeing more women actually able to say, I am a builder, and being able to have that statement rather than trying to lessen what they're doing.
Right, going out, meeting a customer, and doing an estimate, that sort of thing? Because people expect a guy to come when it's time for that.
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone express sort of disbelief if you were the person representing the...
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I get, oh, you're not what I expected, or... Yeah.
And then when it comes time when you have to negotiate something, that's always the toughest part of any kind of business arrangement, when it's coming down to the dollars and cents, where you got to kind of push a little bit. Yeah. Do you find you sometimes have to push a little harder?
Sometimes. You definitely have to have a lot of confidence. I think as women, that's a huge part of it. And it's very important. If you know what you're talking about and you're confident about it, then you'll be fine.
But people might assume, she's going to be a pushover and might push too hard, and then you've got to, I don't know, let them know it's not going to be that way.
Yeah, that's right.
So I read a little bit about some of your thoughts on what's happening with construction right now. You said something about being okay with where the market is right now, but the market isn't great at the moment.
It's not great. It's okay. So we've definitely seen a soften of the market, which was good. We were the peak of the peak, the highest it's ever been. The only way to go from there is down. So we've slipped a little bit. I believe we're at the same numbers as 2015. So if we stay here, we're okay. But if it continues to decline, that's when people are going to start getting really concerned.
Right. Now, in terms of future planning, there's been some real discussion between builders and the city about, the vision for the future. And the planners were considering what they called a three.
Growth scenario 3.
Growth scenario 3.
Yep.
The builders wanted them to kind of ratchet that back. In other words, meaning a little bit less emphasis on the multifamily.
It was just more, it wasn't less of an emphasis on multi, it was just making sure that we still have single family, because that's still what a lot of people want. And if we don't provide single family in our city, people will move to West Kelowna, they'll move to Lake Country, and then they're commuting into our city. So now that's, extra, infrastructure needs and all this stuff when they're not paying property taxes, they're not paying DCCs. So to make sure that we still maintain a healthy balance, and hopefully the market dictates what people want, we can build accordingly.
Everyone seems to agree that there will be less of it than there has been. Does that mean more opportunities for builders in renovating older homes, rebuilding, infilling, that sort of?
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna see a lot more companies either diversifying or moving into a different field of construction. A lot of single family builders are moving into doing row homes and duplexes and townhomes and that kind of stuff. So you will see that. You will see them start to, again, they might go into more renovations and that kind of stuff as our city ages.
Right. There's a few issues we discussed prior to this. One of them was changes to this mortgage stress test. Builders had some concerns with that.
Yeah, so CHBA nationally they had their day on the Hill with the Parliament. So, and we've locally sent letters to Stephen Ferrer about it. So what we're trying to do is get a reduction in the mortgage stress test for first-time home buyers to bring back the 30-year amortization. The problem is that we've seen a reduction of 30% for first-time home buyers. And why we're seeing such an issue with rentals is 80% of rentals become available when people move into new home ownership. So if we can get more people owning homes, we can get, more relief in the rental market as well. So it can be very beneficial.
Right. And you were saying that it's not those young buyers that tend to be the ones that default on their mortgages.
Yeah, so the age group of 25 to 34 actually have the lowest level of delinquency. So the concern that, they're not going to be able to pay their mortgage isn't actually on par with how the statistics show.
Right. So yeah, the concern was mortgage rates, even though they've climbed up a bit, are still historically so low, and people are kind of walking into it not knowing how high they might go. So we're kind of trying to protect people from themselves.
Yeah.
And you're saying that you think they can handle it.
Yeah. So I think you'll see some changes in the next little while with the federal government on this. I think they're realizing that they have to make some changes to it, because if they don't, things will continue to decline. So we need to get first-time home buyers, into the market.
So are we going to be hearing a lot from home builders? Are you going to be vocal in your role, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I was happy to go to Victoria in the fall, and we'll be planning probably another trip to Victoria this coming fall. And you'll definitely hear about us, and we'll be continuing to raise our issues.
And I imagine if you're going to Victoria, that was probably with the speculation tax on your mind?
Yes, that was a part of it for sure. We had a slight win when we got some development lands removed from it, but it's still not good for our economy. It's not good for Kelowna. It's not good for a lot of places across BC. Right.
A lot of agreement, locally, but it doesn't seem like this government's moving much on that.
No. They're standing pretty firm on it. So.
But it sounds like they'll be hearing about it from you, right?
Yeah, we haven't stopped. So.
Right. Well, anything else you'd like to say right now before we wrap this up? It's been good getting to know you a little bit.
I don't think
so. What are we going to be seeing coming down the pipe in the next little while?
From CHBA?
Yeah, in the building sector. What do you see coming? Okay, let's back it up here. You said you're sort of okay with where it's at now. Where do you see it in the next few months?
Well, I'm hoping it'll level off.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we can stay here, and that the good trades will stay busy, and the good builders will stay busy, and the people that quickly came to town to make a couple bucks will probably move on to somewhere else. But so I think we're going to be okay. Everybody still wants to live in Kelowna. It's still a very popular destination, and even when we were in the recession, we still were doing a lot better than a lot of other communities. So
seems sort of recession-proof a little bit here.
Yeah, we just have so much to offer. It's just, why wouldn't you want to be here? So.
Well, it was great meeting you, Cassidy deveer, the new president of the Canadian Home Builders Association locally, and thank you for watching Kelowna Now.